everyone, my name is Camila and today I'm going to be doing the revision for the Avaliação Especial. And today we're going to be focusing on vocabulary. So, phrases with name. To be named after someone is when, for example, your grandma is called Louise and your name is also Louise, but you're named after your grandma, so your name is Louise because of your grandma. To live up to your name, that's when you have a reputation to uphold. So, let's say your dad is a very famous engineer and you get into engineering, so you have a name to uphold. Okay, to make a name for yourself, is to create your own reputation. To be a household name, to be a famous name, a prestigious name. To put your name forward is, for example, I want to get this job, so I'm going to put my name forward for an interview. To clear your name, let's say you've been falsely accused of murder and you have a trial and they say you're innocent, you're still going to have to clear your name, so make sure everyone knows that you're innocent. To address someone by name, just call them by their name. To be someone in name only is, for example, let's say the principal at a school doesn't do his job, like he just sits there on a chair and somebody else does it for him, so he's just the principal in name. Giving name is your name, for example, mine is Camila. Maiden name is the name before you get married, so a maiden is usually a woman, usually a virgin woman, so that's what they would call it, a woman's last name before she got married. And the married name is when you switch your last name to the ones of your partner. Okay, the vocabulary for making your name. Going in for, to do something regularly or to enjoy something. Increasingly outlandish, strange and unusual, and a tip to help you with this is that outlandish, out of this land, so strange, new, different. Reach the top of a tree, to reach the most successful position, so top of a tree, high, Career-wise, in terms of career, when you put like something in wise, for example, work-wise, in terms of work. Cut and dried, completely settled or decided. Callbacks, a phone call made to return a call received. So maybe I applied for a job and I'm still waiting for them to call me back, so I'm still waiting for the callbacks. For the likes of people or things similar to. Personality. Perceptive, someone who notices things quickly and understands people's feelings. Prejudiced, someone who has an unreasonable dislike of a thing or of a group of people. Apathetic, someone who is not interested or willing to make the effort to do anything. Obstinate, someone who is determined not to change their idea, behavior, or opinions. Rebellious, someone who deliberately disobeys people in authority or rules of behavior. Solitary, someone who spends a lot of time alone because they like being alone. Neurotic, someone who is unreasonably anxious or afraid. Open-minded, someone who is willing to consider or accept other people's ideas or opinions. Inspirational, someone who inspires others. Overambitious, someone who is too ambitious. Insensitive, someone who doesn't show empathy for others. Mature, someone who is well-developed emotionally. Inquisitive, someone who wants to discover as much as they can about things. A little bit more of personality. So, selfish. She expects everyone to help her, but she never does anything for anyone else, so she's only thinking of herself. Temperamental. My boss is happy one more minute and screaming the next, so he's very moody, he's very temperamental. Conservative. The manager doesn't like new ideas. He wants to do everything the old way. So, someone who is conservative likes to stick to their own ways. And usually to tradition. Introverted. That child talks to a few people. He prefers to sit quietly and read or just think. And the opposite of introverted would be extroverted. Easygoing. That girl is so relaxed that she never seems to worry about anything. Circumspect. She's very cautious. She thinks carefully before she decides to do something. Liberal. She's tolerant and wants her employees to be free to do what they want. Impetuous. That man makes too many instant decisions without thinking about the consequence. So impetuous, same thing as impulsive. Considerate. When he sees me, he always brings a gift and asks about my family. Gregarious. She loves socializing. She goes to parties every night. So someone who likes to be around others. Idioms. A yes man. Someone in the workplace who will agree to anything and always does what they're told. A dark horse. Someone somewhat unknown who exceeds the expectation of all others. A busybody. A meddling or prying person, so someone who cares a bit too much about other people's lives. The black sheep. A member of a family or group who is regarded as a disgrace to them. Pain in the neck, an annoying or tedious person or thing. And it can also be just pain, like, oh, she's a pain. It doesn't have to have a body part. A chatterbox, a person who talks a lot. So chatter is just a lot of talking. So a chatterbox, a person who talks a lot. A whiz kid, a young person who is outstandingly skillful or successful at something. The life and soul of the party. Someone who is very lively and amusing at a party or other social gatherings. Set in his ways, so set in their ways. Again, by the one that we just saw, conservative is almost the same thing. So, someone who has been behaving in the same way for many years and doesn't want to change. An old hand, a person with a lot of experience on something. And idioms on page 148. A rotten apple, a bad person who has a negative effect on others in a group. So to remember this, you can think about, like, for example, when you have a rotten fruit, especially right now a rotten apple, and they're in the middle of other healthy fruits, the fact that that apple is rotten will usually contaminate the others. So a loose cannon, an unpredictable person who can cause damage if not controlled. A couch potato, sedimentary person. A wet blanket, a negative person who ruins other people's good times. A big cheese, an important, influential person. So at her company, she's the big cheese, so she's a very important person at her company. A tough cookie, someone who is strong enough to deal with difficult situations. Okay guys, so this was it. Good luck on the Avaliação Especial.